Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining me and I hope you're all well. Today we're going to be making an origami paper sculpture, but first we're going to decorate it, so that's part one. As you can see, I'm drawing a big pink flower on mine and I'm just going to have fun with the colours. So first of all, you just need a piece of A4 paper and then you want to just decorate it in any way that you see fit. I've just done a big flower and I'm covering the page. It's good for this exercise to cover the page with as much colour as possible and patterns, so just really enjoy it. And then next you're going to be making it into a square. So I've done my decorated piece of paper and it's a square piece of paper, and I'm just going to start by folding the paper in half, so lengthways like a booklet, and then I'm going to take the top of that and fold it down to the bottom, and then I've made a square again. You'll end up, when you open that up, with a book, with a booklet, almost with 4 pieces of paper in folded. You want to take the top 2 of those folds and open it out, and where that crease is that you've made, you just want to push that down to the bottom of that square and make a triangle. I hope that makes sense. It's almost easier just to watch me do it, and I'm going to do it twice in this video so you can have a proper watch with a piece of paper that's not decorated as well, so it's less complicated to look at. So I've done that on one side, I've made a triangle, and then I've done it with the other side, and I've just pushed that creased piece of paper down, and so I've made a triangle out of my folded piece of paper. Now, when you do that, you'll have 2 triangles almost. Now you pick up the bottom corner of that triangle at the top and you just take it up to that middle corner, and then you do the same on the other side. So that's sort of what it should look like. And again, I'm going to do this with a blank piece of paper so it's clearer to watch. But I've turned that whole shape over. So that's the first bit I did. It should look like that. And then I've taken the bottom corner and I'm pushing it up to the middle triangular corner, and then I'm going to do the same with the other side. So I've made a smaller square. Now what you want to end up with is something that looks like that. And on the top you'll see the paper is loose, but what you want is, there's a line in the middle of that square that goes diagonally, and you want to take the corners that are on either side of that line and fold them towards the line. The line is where the paper ends, and so I'm going to hold it up to the camera and you'll be able to see what I mean. So that line in the middle is where those 2 corners touch each other in between that line, and then you turn it over again. So everything you do on one side of the paper, you do it on the other side of the paper. Now this is where it gets a bit more fiddly, so you might want to have a go. I had to have a go at this a few times before I got it right. So you've got this shape now. Now on one side of this shape, those bits of paper are going to be loose, and inside that corner that you've just folded into the middle is a little gap. As you can see, I've just opened up that gap and I've taken that loose corner and I've folded it almost into itself and just tucked it into that loose fold of paper in the middle and pushed it down. So that sort of secures the shape. And again, I'm really sorry if it doesn't make a lot of sense, but in a way I learned from just watching the video. So, and then doing it myself. So I've just folded that one piece of paper down into the triangle I made in the middle of the shape, and I've sort of tucked it in like an envelope, and then I've pushed it down onto itself almost, and I'm doing that with the other side. So you can see that little gap that I've opened up there. I'm going to push the paper into it, press it down with my thumb, and then I'm going to turn that whole shape upside down and do it with the other side. So that's how it looks on one side. And then I've done it on the other side. So then I just open it up and then you can see my flower on one side. Now, if you can see at the top, there's a small hole at the top. And this is where you do the fun bit, which is you blow into the hole and you blow up the whole thing. So you make this cube shape, which is going to be your paper mobile. And I just think that's really fun. Apparently some people fill these with water, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be hanging them and making a really lovely mobile with a few more. So now I'm going to show you how to do that with a blank piece of paper. To get a square, you make a triangle, so you match that piece of paper towards the end and you just make a little mark there. And then I just rip it, but you can use scissors. So where I've marked it, you just fold it and then you just cut that and then you've got a square. So you make, now how many triangles can you fit into a square? Well, first 2 triangles can be into a square because you fold that square in half diagonally, and then you've got your perfect square there. Well, almost perfect apart from the ripped bit, but you'll do a much neater job than I will. So then you've got your square, and I'm going to do another one for you. So we fold the square in half and just make sure it's nice and smooth edges, and then we fold the square in half the other way. And you can see I've got my flower there that I'm going to colour in later. And then you've got your opening at the top there, which you just open up and then push down into a triangle. I don't know if you can see that. And then you turn that on the other side. So there you go, there's your triangle, and then you turn it upside down and you do the same thing. So you're going to match everything you do on one side of the paper, you do on the other. And this is just a fun way of making a sort of 3-dimensional sculpture, a brightly coloured thing you can hang in the window. And you can make a few of them and decorate them however you like. It's sort of not really going with the nature theme, but I've put some flowers on mine. So then I've taken that bottom corner up to meet the middle, or I've taken the top right corner to meet the bottom corner of the triangle, and then the top left corner to meet the bottom corner of the triangle. So you've got those flaps again, if you can see how they're done. So that's how it looks when you've opened it up. So I've just opened it up to show you. So I'm going to do that again. So you fold it in half, fold it in half again, and you open it up to a triangle, and just press that down. And you might want to pause this and just follow it through slowly, which is what I did when I learned how to do it. So you've got your triangle, top right corner to meet the bottom corner of the triangle, top left corner to meet the bottom corner of the triangle, turn it upside down, do the same on the other side. I mean, I'm concentrating just saying it out loud, so I hope that some of this makes sense to you. So then you've got your little square, and then where you've got that line in the middle of the square now, the 2 corners that you fold in to meet the line on either side of the line, you want touching. So there's your line, and I've folded that corner in to meet the centre, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. And you just push that down because it's getting quite small now if you started with an A4 piece of paper. Then you turn that upside down and you do the same on this side. So there's my line. I'm going to fold that down to meet the middle. It's hard thinking opposite, so I'm watching myself do this and I'm talking about tops and bottoms of video screens. So there's your shape, and then you've got that loose paper on one side but not on the other. So where the paper is loose, that flappy bit there, you want to fold in on itself and tuck into that little gap that you can see. It's actually a lot better without the drawing, so you can see where I'm putting that there. So you just tuck that in there. It doesn't have to go all the way in, you just push it down so it makes a nice fold, and you've just fixed it there. And then you do the same on the other side. So you take that piece, just the one piece of paper up, and you tuck it into that gap that you've got there. And you'll be able to tell, just like that. And then you turn that around and you do the same on the other side. and pop it down. And then you're going to open that out. So fold, you've got 2 gaps there, so you just fold that in half to just reinforce the whole shape. You should end up with a shape like this. And then there's that hole at the top where you can just blow into, and it should open up to make your cube. And then what you can do is you can thread some needle and thread through the top, and you can hang it from your window. So have a really fun time making these, and I hope it makes sense, and good luck.